Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm the Crazy Historian, and we have just reached 500 subscribers. As a celebration for you guys giving so much support, I'm going to react to Possible History is Garbage video by Josh Sullivan. Now this is relevant to me because I'm kind of related to Possible History in that I took his History 2 project, but I haven't seen this video yet, even though it's been kind of a hot topic in the alternate history sphere. Now this video is going to be quite a bit different than my normal videos. It's going to be a lot less edited. You can see that I have a little country ball figurine, which I'm just now realizing is very similar to Josh's. So yeah, this video is going to be quite a bit longer and a lot less edited down than other videos. I will cut out some stuff, so if you want to have the full experience of what Josh is arguing, please go to his video. So, let's begin.
So, I just wanted to make a quick video about something that I saw recently. I'm sure you're all familiar with the YouTuber Possible History, a Dutch alternate historian who's seen abnormal levels of growth as of late. But what I wanted to talk about was something that I saw not too long ago in a video that he made with several of his YouTuber friends, which he called the Possible History Quiz Show. Let's take a look. In the video, Possible History shows his YouTuber friends a series of maps in which they have to guess the alternate history that led to them. And as I'm skimming through the video, I notice this. Of course, this is one of my maps, which appeared in a video on my friend Mr. Z's channel a long time ago, which was on if the Anschluss had never happened. He says this.
This map comes from the esteemed alternate history channel Mr. Z, and it's from a scenario where Austria doesn't get Anschluss. This will obviously result in southern Germany breaking away, all of Catholic Europe uniting in an alliance against Protestant Europe, and yeah. This is a real video that exists.
Yeah.
That's not really a big reaction, I would say, in terms of the reactions you could have to that map, which, you know, as any YouTuber knows, there are always some people in the comments, especially with alternate history YouTubers, where there's people commenting that things are unrealistic. This is probably the tamest criticism of a map or an alternate history scenario I've seen yet, at least with my experiences.
So let me give you a synopsis of what actually happened in that scenario.
Alright.
In that timeline, Engelbert Dollfuss isn't shot by the Nazis, and so when Hitler begins pushing for an Anschluss with Austria, Dollfuss refuses and Germany invades. Then, Italy, which was very protective over Austria and had promised to do so in our timeline if
this was Italy wanting to expand its influence into the Balkans, and it saw Austria as an ally, but I think that's something that might have been overlooked a little bit, was that the relations between Italy and Germany had started to warm up, and that was the reason that Italy didn't oppose the Anschluss in our timeline. So if they went into a war, I wouldn't see how it would be different, though maybe some of the factors are a little bit different in the video which he explained. I can see this happening. This is realistic so far.
Germany had invaded, comes to Austria's support as war breaks out between Italy and Germany, which ultimately gets bogged down in the Alps. Britain and France then, seeing an opportunity, eventually decide to join on Austria's side, crushing Germany on all fronts. And since Dollfuss's refusal for an Anschluss was based in Austrian Catholicism, and since the Allies would want to weaken Germany, Austria annexes much of Catholic South Germany with this alliance and plan, again, being something that was proposed in real life between Italy, Britain, and France if Austria ever came under threat.
So I don't know if annexing South Germany was actually like a plan that they did, but this definitely is, yeah, the stress up front where the British, French, and Italians all came together to basically oppose German aggression. So far, it's pretty accurate. I don't know if that plan to unite South Germany with Austria actually exists in our timeline. Editing me will tell you if they did or not right now.
And as a result, Hitler is ousted from power as National Socialism is crushed, which allows for Catholic authoritarianism to rise in its place, bolstered by a more powerful Austria, which strengthens relations with the nearby states of Hungary and Czechoslovakia.
Oh, okay, so firstly, I would say that definitely the Nazis would be kicked out of power, especially in North Germany, because they just completely failed. I don't know if Catholic authoritarianism would rise. I don't see a reason why they would rise. Maybe there would be a rise in, Catholicism in the role of politics, but I don't know how significant that would be. And I mean, if this South German state is based off the principle of Catholicism, it would become allies with its nearby Catholic neighbors of Czechia and Hungary. I'm not sure how much role Catholicism would play in government.
France also sees a rise in this authoritarianism, backed by Mussolini, as France, Spain...
Sorry, wait. France gets Catholic authoritarianism, backed by Mussolini? Why? Mussolini was literally fascist. If anything, it would be Nazis who flee to France after the fall of the Nazi government in North Germany. So there could be a more right-wing government established in France loosely based off of Nazi ideals. I don't think Mussolini would actively support a Catholic authoritarian state. And also, it looks like almost all of South Europe has united here. Why would they just unite into one country? Where does Spain and Portugal come into this? I mean, yes, they're Catholic, but that doesn't mean they would unite with the rest of the Catholic nations. I mean, Spain would probably still be undergoing its civil war, or be under the control of Francisco Franco, which, wouldn't want to join a coalition state with a France or an Italy. They wanted to be their own independent country. So I don't know why that's happening. I can kind of get why Poland would join, but again, I can see them joining an alliance instead of a union.
Spain and Portugal, as well as Poland, seeking protection from the Soviets, join this new bloc. Then, Hungary and Italy seek to claim land in the Balkans, as Britain and North Germany grow closer together in opposition. You can have your own opinions about the scenario. I certainly do, but that's besides the point of how possible history completely butchered the context of that map for the sole purpose of having a reason to mock Mr. Z and me by proxy. Oh, and also, possible history never even names me, the person who made the video and the map, instead just pinning it on Z.
Okay, so before we get into what seems to be the next section, I'm just going to state, first of all, possible history not crediting Josh here, which was, not great. He probably should have credited Josh. But to his claim of possible history butchering the context, I don't think you can call it butchering the context when, since you made the video, you made the title and thumbnail as well. If you are advertising it as what if the Anschluss didn't succeed, then obviously it would be fair to describe your scenario overall as what if the Anschluss doesn't succeed. I don't think it's fair to say that possible history butchered the context. Junk history.
This would already be bad enough if it weren't for the person who was doing it. If you take a look at Possible History's channel, you'll notice that very few of the videos there are actual serious alternate history scenarios that he's actually created.
So, hold on a second, let's go through these videos. The first one, my viewers voted on the Treaty of Versailles. I mean, I guess you can argue that's not a video being made by him, it's just going over, the viewer scenario.
Instead, you'll find a ton of videos written not by him, but by his viewers, or when he does do something himself, it's some of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. For instance, what if I created history?
Okay. Alright, cool down, cool down.
What if Germany just keeps trying?
Oh.
Or, my personal favorite of this nonsense, what if the Soviets got zombies in World War II?
This guy does know that that video was a special or, like, not a realistic scenario, right?
Other videos, like one on if the Christmas truce ended World War I, immediately open with a disclaimer saying the video isn't serious.
Yeah?
Implying that his other videos are?
No? So Josh here is trying to claim that these videos have to be realistic because they don't have a disclaimer in front of them. So what I'm probably guessing happened is that Possible History posted this video here and then got a lot of annoying comments that, oh, this isn't realistic, and because it's not supposed to be. And then when he released another kind of that video, another video of that same type, he introduced that disclaimer at the front so that people wouldn't give him those comments. And also, this isn't even an actual video. This is a minute-long explanation of what History 2.0 is, so this can't even be claimed as an actual video. And both of these are just videos that are being made for fun, not specifically to be realistic. I mean, we could do the same thing for his channel, probably. What if Thomas Jefferson took over France? Okay. What if Mussolini survived and then Carthaginian Mussolini? What if the German king was a terrorist? You can make the same arguments with these videos. It's not like that Possible History is the only one who does fun scenarios. Like, I don't know what he's getting at here.
And then there are those like, what if everything went perfect for the Central Powers? And what if everything went terrible for the United States?
Banger videos, by the way.
Whose entire premises are based on mountains of assumptions and completely overlook why these outcomes didn't happen, detaching it from any real understanding of these events.
Wait, so... Forgive me if I'm wrong, but the way I understand what he's saying is these videos are bad because they're not rooted in reality, even though alternate history is a divergence from reality. Obviously, it would be very unlikely for Germany to get the perfect timeline for them, but that's not the point. The point is to see what Germany could have, or what the Central Powers could have achieved if everything went well for them. So, obviously, there's going to be a lot more changes in that timeline. And, I mean, I can't, unless he explains it later in the video, I just don't know, like, why.
As you all know, I'm not opposed to doing silly scenarios every...
So he accepts that they're silly scenarios, that he made silly scenarios. Like, see, the things that he, I even pointed these out. Like, he knows they're silly videos, so why is he criticizing them?
Now and then. But, emphasis on that last part. Every now and then.
Yeah, he barely makes, like, any silly scenarios. I think in, like, the past year he's made 5 silly videos. Is he not allowed to do 5 silly videos a year?
That might have been fine, had he not gone and made a hypocrite of himself by deciding to attack my video, my map, and my scenario as being ridiculous.
Well, dude, you had basically all of Europe unified because Catholicism, like...
History is a bit of a serious subject. It should be entertaining, but there should also be some educational value to it.
Alright.
There's a reason why I give this much, which is because it's necessary to understand actual history before being able to grasp alternate history. Why on earth would someone shovel out history content that's so light on actual history? Why paint your videos and your channel the colors of history of an educational field, but then provide very little in the way of actual educational content when you make your videos?
Well, I can see where he's coming from with the history should be educational, but I don't see why he's criticizing the lack of information. Like, on the more specific details, he gives a lot more information, because he assumes that his audience already knows about history if they're attracted to click on the video.
Short answer: views.
What?
Mr. Z made a great video on how mass-produced, low-quality content gets widely shared across YouTube. And judging by how much Possible History brags about his view count and subscriber count, as well as this interaction I found, in which a viewer of his suggested a video, and Possible History outright admits he gets enough views to not care about what videos he makes, he clearly cares more about gaining YouTube clout and profit than the actual subject of history and providing videos that are not just entertaining, but educational. Hence, the abnormal growth I mentioned at the beginning of this video.
Hold on, wait, okay. Let's go back here. So first of all, his analysis of this text is just completely incorrect. I mean, what he's saying here isn't that people will watch whatever he puts out. He's saying he doesn't have to specifically cater his content to be the most optimal or the most popular, because he wouldn't want to do that. And here in this text specifically, he says he doesn't want to curate his content so that maximum amount of people would be clicking on it. So what he's saying, based on this text interaction, is just completely false. The real reason? Holy cow.
Of course, he knows all of this, and this is all secondary to the real reason he and his friends like to go after people like me, which is difference in political ideology.
What? What?
Possible History's bias is readily shown in many of the first people he's followed on Twitter, and
readily shown. So, first of all, I would say that it's readily shown and quite apparent if he specifically talks about it or it affects his YouTube videos, like it did with Alternate History Portugal. But, if you look at his Twitter follows, it doesn't show obvious bias. For example, he's also following Elon Musk, which, you can follow someone on Twitter that you don't agree with.
including Vosh, and his staunch opposition to channels like Mr. Z and What If Altist, enough that he has made multiple video responses to them, 2 of which he's since unlisted on his channel.
I wouldn't say it's staunch opposition. He made, a criticism of, I think, What If Altist's video on the future, and that was, one of his first videos ever. I don't think I'd call making a video talking about someone else's prediction is staunch opposition, because this is what you're doing right now, technically. And I'd say this is more staunch than criticizing someone's video, because you're going after him personally.
In his Discord server, Possible History has also repeatedly claimed that the success my channel has seen is purely because of help from Mr. Z, a YouTuber who's been a good friend and who was kind enough to showcase some of my work when I was just starting out, with us still doing collaborations every now and then.
Okay, well, I can agree with Josh on this, that he shouldn't imply that people only get places because they get shouted out. You shouldn't imply that someone's success is purely based on someone else, because they do put in effort into what they make, and so being shouted out won't help you if you're bad at making videos.
I am genuinely offended by the accusation that this is the only reason I have seen any success, and once again, it's also extremely hypocritical. What Possible History does is just as bad, filling your feed with junk history for the sake of fame and profit.
Again, he posts 2 videos a week, and both of them are usually just pure alternate history videos. Aside from his special videos, which are 5 in a year.
It's like Mr. Z said in his video on this. Some channels are like McDonald's. What they provide isn't healthy, but it's cheap, easy to produce, and it's popular. And you can bet Possible History is enjoying himself filling his pockets, not caring if what he feeds you is garbage.
With my discussions with him, he definitely cares about history. And he's definitely very enthusiastic about history.
But hey, I hope you guys enjoyed hearing my thoughts on this, and if you want to see more of my content, make sure to stick around for more.
Alright, so I don't really know how to end this. I don't really know how this video is going to turn out at all, to be honest, but thank you guys for all the support. Make sure to subscribe. Thank you for 500 subs, and if you want more content like this specifically, comment down below. It tells me that you guys are into this sort of more informal style. But either way, I'm going to continue producing alternate history videos, and I hope to see you all next time. Stay crazy.